Hello and welcome back to Havoc, and we're here in the smithy. Now, before we actually get into the episode, I just want to say the previous episode's thumbnail was completely on purpose. It was supposed to be a joke, but obviously, maybe I was the only one that found it funny. But anyway, whatever the case, I apologize if that didn't come across. But otherwise, you can take a look here at how much smithing I've been doing. Oh, it's a large amount, as you can see from my crude iron amount. I've literally been doing look at that, 2,316 crude iron I have available here, and these are all of the swords that I have been making to level up. Now, technically, I could smelt all of this to get my fine steel back and maybe create a little bit of Thermoskene steel as well. I actually wanted to show you this generally because I don't tend to go too in-depth when it comes to smithing or anything like that, and I thought, you know what, this is just taking way too long. I thought, yeah, you know what, it's just not worth it. So yeah, I was basically sat here for about, I don't even know, 30 minutes, I think. 30 minutes of spamming my mouse button, and yeah, it was not a pleasant experience. Let's just say that it was not a pleasant experience whatsoever. And what's really funny about this is that I actually tried to find something like a program or whatever that would actually give me the ability to automatically click my refining button or my smelting button or whatever it is. And I do have one of those for other things, other applications, and so on and so forth. I do have one of those programs, and I tried to use it with this. It doesn't work. I don't know why, but it doesn't work. So, unfortunately, I had to click the button on myself, and you can imagine how many times I had to click it if I'm literally sat here for 30 minutes doing something like that. Anyway, we're going to be taking our perks in smithing here. I have 4 perks to spend, and obviously the ones that we're mostly interested in are the ones that increase my control or increase my vigor. Personally, I think, considering I'm almost at the limit of my bow skill, I might want to go for another point in vigor, because you can see here I already have 7 in control, so it kind of makes sense for me to do vigor. But on the other hand, I'm not entirely sure, because it is taking a bit longer, as you can see, due to my learning rates. My learning rates are fine, don't get me wrong. They're still good, but they're not as good as they could be. But I'm still going to go for vigor, I suppose, because there is something in the athletics tree. Don't think I'm actually going to be getting athletics anytime soon, but you never know. Maybe I am actually going to get something as we level up some more. Because obviously I'm level 25 at the moment. Not sure if that's going to be enough. Anyway, I basically only wanted to get to 225. I didn't want to go any further than that because it is a slog. It is an absolute slog, and that is with crafting stamina disabled, or at the very least reduced to such a minuscule amount of expenditure, you know. So for example, my stamina doesn't go down that much when I press one of those refining buttons, that I cannot imagine how long it would take a person playing on vanilla or playing on native to be able to make that work. Because if you look at how much energy I've spent, well, not even 50% of my energy, my max energy, and I started with 100%, and I was at, I believe, 50 or so smithing, so I went up almost 200 points in 30 minutes. Obviously, with me spamming the button. I was spamming the button with 2 hands as well. So, yeah, I feel like the learning rate of smithing is really, really weird. But, again, that's just a case of the game still in development. Hopefully, it's not going to be like that in the final product, because you're never going to be able to get to 300, that's for sure, or 275 in this case. You're never going to be able to get to 275 without having some kind of experience benefit from a mod or something like that. But, of course, I don't have full focus points in smithing, so obviously it could just be the fact that I don't have that, but I kind of refuse to believe that one focus point is going to make that big a difference. I don't know. It's going to make a little bit of difference, of course, but it's definitely not going to make an overwhelming difference that would save me 20 minutes or something like that. Never going to happen in a million years. Anyway, this is what I'm currently doing with all of my towns as well. I thought in the first part of this episode I'd show you a little bit of management and everything, because we are going to be declaring war against the Arkit faction again. I've been playing quite a bit off screen here, because I want to make sure that my towns are relatively well built up. And obviously that's pretty important, because if they are not built up, then we're going to be having some pretty serious problems later down the line, where they don't have enough security, they don't have enough prosperity, they don't have enough loyalty or food or anything like that. As you can see, most of our forces are doing pretty well here. I'm actually just going to add some more things to the queue. I've basically just added a huge amount to every single town's queue now. I have prioritized in my off-screen time, I have prioritized a bunch of the various buildings that I wanted to have built first, and I actually waited very specifically for some of the orchards to be built, most specifically in Tile, because Tile was having some big problems with food. Ortengard was also having problems with food. Let's see if it's, yep, it's much better now. As you can see, I've actually changed Eilena's position as well, because she was in Balticand, I believe. Yeah, she was in Balticand. And I thought to myself, yeah, you know what, let's actually get her somewhere else that can actually do much more good. And that is exactly what she's doing here. So that's actually really nice. Hopefully she's going to continue to do a good job here. And we have one day until workshops are done. Obviously workshops, I mean, they're pretty decent, but they only give 3 construction. And if you think about 3 construction and the overall big picture of things, it's really, it basically doesn't make any difference at all. At least in my opinion, it feels to me like it's just a, I don't know, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a, I don't know, on a hole in a dam. You know what I mean? It's like literally putting a small little plaster on a massive hole in a dam's wall, and the water is just flooding out no matter what you do. And it just doesn't make any sense for me to literally take +3 bonus to construction, because in this case, what difference does it make? I either have 133 or 136 construction, you know what I mean? I feel like these buildings should have a greater impact on the overall town's health. I mean, obviously, I'm not even talking about prosperity or loyalty or food or anything like that, because I actually think the food situation with the orchards, I think that's really good. But I feel like the 3 or 6 or 9 bonus to construction from the workshops, I feel like that's just completely negligible, and it makes very little difference. Obviously, you can disagree if you want, you know, obviously that's your prerogative. You can disagree if you like, but that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, most of my forces are actually looking pretty rice? No, not pretty rice, but pretty nice. Yes, yes, indeed. Yeah, I don't know why I said rice, but I kind of like rice. Don't you like rice? I don't know. Well, whatever the case, Kimberley Castle is going to be our first target. We want to try and consolidate our territory, and with that, we're going to be declaring war against the Arkit faction. I do now have, wait a minute. Let me actually just make sure that they are the people that we want to attack. Yes. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, let me just level up my forces here. They've all leveled up from leadership skill and all that wonderful stuff. And let's go into the diplomacy screen and see what we can do. All right, I am very excited about this. It's been a while since we've actually gone into battle. Bear in mind that they're still giving me a pretty significant amount of tribute, which is making me question whether I should even start attacking them. But I'm kind of thinking, well, I have a pretty significant amount of money. I've got good relations with them. I have a pretty reasonable, well, motive for going in and attacking them because we want to consolidate our territory. So I am just going to declare war just straight away. There you go. They have a huge amount of wars going on as well, by the way. So this is actually really, really good for us, because that basically means that they are very much up against it in almost every single respect. Anyway, I'm going to speak to the leader of Cultit, which, of course, is Kanujan. I will attempt to persuade him once again. Maybe he's in a more, well, shall we say, conversational mood, potentially. Because I have a larger amount of territory this time. I have decent cash. I have a good relation with him. Oh, okay, now apparently it's working. Alright. Well, that's good. Oh no, 52% chance. Okay, come on now, sir. Yes, there we go. Now, how much does he want? Because this is going to be very expensive. He has 579,000. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting. He wants a massive... wow, he wants 856,000. Yep, that's pretty significant. That is pretty significant, and I think I'm actually going to be doing it because he has... doesn't he have... I think he has one castle, but that's not the main reason why I'm doing it. I'm doing it so that I can get all of these people... not all these people. All these people, Sokotai and Korte, and all of the people in his clan to help me out, basically. Oh, he also has Samira Castle too. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so in my opinion, I'm just going to do this. It's very expensive, but I think it's worth it because then I don't have to take Kimley Castle myself. I have another clan. Oh yeah, by the way, I actually created another clan as well. And let me actually just see. Yeah, there. This guy. Yeah, this guy right here. He is a companion that I made into a vassal, and in my opinion, he's pretty good. He's previously someone that was called, I think his name was Attis the Golden. I've renamed him, of course, because I'd like to make it so that every single person has relatively synergistic names, I suppose you could say, because everyone has just one name for the moment. I mean, Eilina obviously doesn't because she's a companion and a governor, but the others are companions and vassals. So I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more, you know, a little bit more obvious that they're vassals. Anyway, I'm going to spend a little bit of money, actually not money, influence, to just give these guys some influence. And, oh, I seem to have gained a level. Oh, okay, thank you. All right, that sounds pretty nice to me. And I have one attribute point to spend. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I might spend it in control or I might spend it in vigor. I'm actually not entirely sure, to be honest. The trials and tribulations of choosing. I think one more point in vigor should be good because that makes us all even. Vigor, control, and endurance all the same. And then I think what I'm going to do is I will start to increase my athletic skill, because obviously athletic skill is not something that I'm going to be focusing on dramatically, but there is a perk over there that increases my control or vigor attributes. Could be useful. Could be useful. So that's why we're doing that. Anyway, let's go over to Ortengard real fast, because I have a lot of crafted weapons and I would like to be able to see how much I can sell those for. Also, let me just take a look at my harnesses here. Oh yeah, I also have a pretty significant herd deficit. I have 0.58. So let me just get rid of a couple of horses. Wow, 0.36. Okay, step war horses then, I guess, as well. Okay, sell all the step horses. There we go. Okay, so the herd deficit has now evaporated, which is nice. And these are all the swords I made. Yes. Shall we sell them all? Boom. Okay, that's not... No. That is not a very good idea, is it? No, that is not a very good idea. Okay, let me get back a bunch, and then we'll move on from here. I mean, generally I am going to need the money, but yeah. Okay, so there's 580,000 from the spam crafting that I did earlier. And to be fair, it's not something that I really need, but I felt like, hey, you know what? Why not? Why not? You know, we need every single advantage that we can get against these guys, because they do tend to play a little bit harshly, and I would like to be able to maximize the opportunities that we have available to us. Anyway, let's get our trebuchets up and running. I would like to destroy the walls. If these guys had level 3 walls, I might decide not to do that, but I mean, who are we kidding? Trebuchets are just absolutely fantastic. They're really, really good, so I don't see a reason why we wouldn't use trebuchets here. Ah, hello there. Alright, so I was just about to place one of my trebuchets into the reserve when Mr. Tulag decided to appear. And of course, he has only his own clan within the Archet faction now, so it's basically one clan against our, I think we have 4 or something like that. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty significant badness for him. Yes, good. Very good sentence structure right there. Anyway, let's see what we could do here. Gonna go for a wonderful auto-delegate. Seems like auto-delegate is working very, very nicely for us so far. And I'm obviously just gonna have to make sure that I realize when my forces are not gonna do so well with the auto-delegate. And sometimes it will happen, you know. Sometimes we really do not want to use that. Ooh, nice. Can I get some... You know what? I'd love to be able to get to 275 in bows. I think that's what I need to get to, right? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it from shooting these guys so incredibly close to me. Gonna have to shoot people a little bit further away. There we go. Oh, riding skill got to 300. Ah, well, it's actually not going to make any difference because there aren't any perks that way, but it is going to give me a little bit of skill percentage increase, you know, maneuver and charge damage and so on and so forth. And you can see the charge damage right here. Like if I were to charge straight through these archers, yeah, okay, 2 damage. Yeah, 2 damage. That I've said that before and I'll say it again. Charge damage is absolutely worthless, or at the very least, I think it is very, very bad. Maybe it's going to be revamped a little bit later on. I know there is a mod that makes horses more dangerous, shall we say? But it also makes the enemy's horses more dangerous. But I suppose that's actually not bad, because if you do take the perk that reduces the charge damage that your units take, then you don't really need to worry too much, do you? Well, maybe you do, but yeah, maybe that would be something for the future. Who knows? But I think I have used it once in a previous series, and I actually really liked it because it made it so that charge damage actually did about 10 to 15 damage every single time you'd run into someone, obviously dependent on speed. But personally, I feel like that's actually really nice because it makes it actually viable, you know? It makes it so that this particular game mechanic isn't, you know, well, a waste of time, so to speak. Because if you literally charge into someone and you do 2 damage to them, you kind of think, well, what's the point? You know? Because when you can do that much damage, 347 damage with a wonderful slash from a polearm, then it's a completely different experience in comparison to getting 2 damage from a charge. But I don't know. Maybe I'm complaining for nothing, or mentioning it for nothing. I know some people will think I'm complaining about it, when generally I'm just suggesting stuff, you know, just suggesting things, and kind of just opening discussion about it, because who knows, maybe you agree with the fact that it's doing 1 to 2 damage, and if you do agree, then by all means, let me know what you think about that, and why you think that, because for me specifically, I'd love to see the horses do a little bit more, just a small amount. You know, they don't have to do, you know, 50 damage with charge damage. But I know that in the past, when I've been playing Warband, for example, there was a mod by the name of Prophecy of Pendor. If you know it, then props to you. If you don't, then, well, maybe it's about time you revisit Warband and play Pendor, because that's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, the point is, when you're in that mod, there are a number of horses you can buy or find or loot. And these horses have exceptional charge damage. They have really, really good charge damage, like 30 to 40 charge damage on their, well, on their stats, I guess you could say, on their stats readout, on their character sheet, or whatever you want to call it, basically. And when you run into someone, you do about 20 to 30 damage. And this is obviously with a high tier horse. I'm talking about a horse that is literally one of the most powerful endgame horses that you can get. And bear in mind that Pendor, if you don't know anything about Pendor, Pendor is a mod that is... it turns everything up to 11, basically, if you know that reference. basically makes it so that every single unit you encounter at a high level is gonna be deadly. They're gonna be very, very strong. Most units have decent amounts of HP, and as a result, hitting someone for 20 to 30 damage from a charge, that's not gonna do anything. That's gonna do maybe 10%, maybe 20, maybe 30% of their HP if you're lucky. Those kinds of values. But the main point that I'm trying to get at here is that when you do that amount of damage with charging or with anything that previously did not much damage, when you do that much damage, you feel good, you know? You feel good about doing that damage because you think to yourself, oh wow, you know, I did 20 damage with my horse alone, you know, that's kind of amazing. And you feel like you're strong, you feel like you're powerful, and that's actually kind of enjoyable and fun, you know? And that's what I'm trying to say here. That's what I'm trying to convey about all these things that I talk about. Usually what I'm talking about is a way to make the game more fun for me personally. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about what you find fun because let's face it, I don't know what you find fun, but you know, only you do, you know, only you know what you find fun, and that's the point, you know. If I mention something that I think could be improved, but that's only from my perspective, you know, that's only because I'm saying, oh yeah, I really think that, for example, workshops should, you know, give more construction. But that's not because it's obviously going to feel good to get more construction skill from that. It just makes it more, well, I guess, more useful. It has more of a point to actually building these improvements because it takes quite a bit of time to get these improvements, you know, completed and, you know, all that stuff. So, anyway. The point is, it's all about satisfaction. It's all about enjoyment and fun and all that wonderful stuff. And if there's anything that's enjoyable to you, then, you know, that's the point, you know? That's the point of playing games, isn't it? Oh well. My rant is over, if you can call it a rant. Maybe it's more of a discussion with myself. Aha. Yes, let us not even touch upon that subject. Okay, ballista? Yeah, there we go. Get it dead. Alright, now every single one of the enemy siege equipment is down. Let's head on in here and see what I can do. I'm very much looking forward to taking this because I believe the other town is currently under siege from a different faction. So this is going to be kind of interesting because this is one of those times where I'm completely in the dark about who's attacking because this particular faction has so many people up against them. It's unknown to me. I don't know who's actually trying to take it. So if they are someone that only has 1 or 2 towns or castles in some cases, I'm probably going to go and attempt to attack them as well, because the fief that they're taking right now, which is Akalat, if they are successful in taking it, I'm then going to have the ability to take it back really, really easily. And then I'm going to be in a really, really good spot. Oh yeah, I actually wanted to mention this at the start of the video, but I actually forgot about it. But yeah, I actually said before in the previous episode, I said, you know, what's going on with the AI, you know, targeting me down and all that stuff, right? Okay, so here's the thing. As I've said, I don't actually mind if they focus me. It just seems a bit unnatural sometimes. For example, when I haven't killed anyone, and I'm talking about, you know, going into a siege, and when I haven't shot anyone yet, and there's a bunch of units in the front of the keep and in front of me, in fact, and I'm getting shot, even though there are units in front of me. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, this guy that's riding around on a horse inside our keep. We know who that guy is. You know, he killed, you know, 40 of the enemy or whatever. And that's the point. I mean, are these people really going to know how many units I killed? I mean, they're not keeping track, are they? Right? I mean, in a real situation, they're not going to keep track, because it's like being in, I don't know, the Battle of Troy or something, And while you're obviously going to be very much in awe of, I don't know, Achilles or whoever else is there, you know, mythological warriors and so on and so forth, but generally you're not really, as a common foot soldier, you're going to be like, oh yeah, you know, unless they make it painfully obvious that they're right there in the middle of everyone, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, that guy just killed 4.5 of our troops. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But whatever the case, that was a very easy siege, wasn't it? That was an extremely easy siege. Really nicely done from our forces there. And we are now able to continue onward. I will be taking all the prisoners, and wow, that's a lot of level ups. Really nice to see that. Okay, yeah, while I was running around, by the way, in my off-screen time, my steward skill leveled up once again, and that's the reason why you're seeing so much experience at the bottom there, because I gained another perk from the steward skill, which enables me to donate weapons as well as armor now, because before I could donate armor for experience, but now I can donate weapons as well. So that's the reason why I'm seeing a much more inflated experience number. So just in case you wondered what was actually going on with that, that's the reason. Anyway, we've taken Altangan, and I will be claiming it for myself once again until we find someone that could potentially take it over for us. Maybe I should have given it to... maybe I should have given it to Ilatar or given it to Kanujan. It might make sense to actually give it to Kanujan because it's right next to Samira Castle. Yeah, you know what? I think I might actually do that. I might actually do that. Let me just place a whole bunch of money in here though, because we're going to need it. And then we'll just... Oh, they've got a bunch of... This is kind of a weird setup right here. I'm going to allow the fortifications to be done, because obviously that's kind of necessary, but I am going to cancel everything else, with the exception of the orchards, which of course I selected right there. And then we are going to hopefully be able to return here. Actually, it's not going to be me doing it, is it? Yeah, it's not going to be me doing it. It's going to be Mr... You know, Mr. whatever his name is, yeah, that's it, Kanujan, there we are. He's going to be the one going ahead and, you know, sorting all of that out. But anyway, I'm just going to recruit a couple of people while I can, because I realized that at the end of the previous episode, I took Chaikand, of course, right? But now here's the thing, I actually didn't do my improved garrison settings. So when I went to return there, thankfully we were at peace this whole time, you know, with no one being at war against us. We were unable to garrison it. There were no units in the garrison there, with the exception of the militia. And as a result, the town was taking significant security damage. In other words, they had a value of 0 under security, which is... great. Right? Yeah, that's pretty awful. So I obviously had to do something about that and rectify the improved garrison issue, and now it has a pretty decent garrison in there as far as I'm aware. Anyway, that's neither here nor there for Altangan, because obviously that's a completely different town. And what we're going to do now is we're going to recruit a bunch more people, and I'm going to be giving this town to Kanujan. Very much hope that he will not betray us. Let's just see. Let me see here. Altangan, there we go. We are going to gift it to the Cult It clan, I believe, right? That is sounding pretty good. Yep, let's do it. There we go. And now he is very, very pleased with me indeed. All right, so there's only 79 defenders here, so I'm a little bit worried about leaving it. But I'm also then thinking, well, who's going to attack it, right? Because we just completely destroyed their army, so it's highly unlikely they're going to be able to get anything that strong to come over here. But I guess if I do see it under siege, then I will come back and see what I can do to help out. But yeah, anyway, you can see here, all of these stats are doing pretty nicely. Security is the worst here. There is a nearby hideout from the bandits, so I mean you can see that right there. Should we just go and clear out that hideout so that we can actually get our security back up? Maybe that would make sense. I just missed the window. Yes, I just missed the window of going in there. Oh well, never mind. Let's go and attack. Gonna take Storm Raiders of Kurt, I suppose. We're gonna take 10 units only. This is very interesting. Usually we don't Usually we have a lot more. Usually I have about 25 or so coming in with me, but I don't know. Maybe I changed the setting or something like that because I felt like it was too overpowered or something. Okay, these guys. Let's just shoot that fellow. I don't think I really need to worry too much about my forces. I think I can probably just kind of relax with them. They're actually not firing at will, so I need them to fire at will now so that they can get their bows out and actually do some damage from range, because otherwise they're just going to be running into these units, and these guys might have thrown weapons, they might have some ability or another to eliminate some of our forces, and we wouldn't want that to happen, would we? So I'm just going to allow them to use their ranged weapons for now. And otherwise, doesn't seem like there are any other units around here. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm actually going to slow down. Okay, there we go, there we go. I'm going to do the duel. Oh, no. Well. Yeah. You know what? You don't even worry. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Can you tell? I'm done. I'm so done with the... What a classic. You know what's really funny as well? I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to have to stop the fast, the super fast mode, speed up thing before the leader comes out. And I thought I did that, but then I noticed that the animations were playing a little bit fast, so then I pressed the button again, and that seems to have turned it back on without me realizing, and then, yeah, look at the animations. You see the animations right there? Okay, I'm going to say I don't fight duels with brigands, and then we're just going to allow my forces just to murder them this time. I mean, I probably could have easily handled this guy. Let's face it, I'm at a pretty decent level now. My armor is pretty good. I don't really need to, prove myself against the bandit boss or anything like that. But yeah, that was very amusing. Yes, it's a classic though, isn't it? It's an absolute classic. That happens to me every single time I try to do something like that. I think to myself, oh yeah, let me just go and do this particular activity on a whim. And then it turns out that it completely murders me in every single respect. Anyway, Akalat, was that actually taken? Seems like it was taken. I'm going to take a look at the garrison here because you never know. Maybe I'm going to be able to just sweep through here relatively simply. But maybe it wasn't. Yep, it was taken. The problem with this, though, is that I'm going to then have to fight the Tigrit faction. And I don't know how good or how bad they are. So let me actually just take a quick look. They are led by Hurunag. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so he's currently at war against quite a few people too. Oh, he has... What? He has one town. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go for this. We're gonna go for this. And they have the Kingdom of Samissos. Okay. I don't know who that is or where they are, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, this is really interesting actually, because I'm not sure if the castles nearby are actually really easy to take either. Let me just take a quick look. Yeah, they're not bad. Look at this. The garrison is only 25? This is... I feel kind of weird, I feel kind of weird about attacking these people because they seem extremely weakened by something or another, but yeah, I'm going to be doing it. I mean, obviously I'm going to be doing it. We're going to try and reduce the overall presence of these people as much as we possibly can. But one thing I want to do, I'm going to take a look at the Tigrit faction right here. Who's this? Tazler. He has, oh my, he has 65 relation with Hurunag. There's no way he's going to be happy to speak to me, right? I'm going to give it a go, but I highly doubt it. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we have enough sway with the amount of territory that we have and so on and so forth. Maybe it's going to make a a bit of a difference at the very least. But otherwise, I'm just going to try and build my trebuchets up. I don't know whether an army is going to come over here. Bear in mind, we're overextending ourselves a little bit here. This is a risky maneuver. This is not something that usually I do in this case, because enemy armies can come out of nowhere. They can actually resupply themselves really quickly too. So if they even get defeated, then their defeat is very short-lived, and they can come back with a vengeance quite quickly. So, not sure if we can take this risk safely enough, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. Oh, there's an army. Okay, there was an army going by us right there. They are 100% going over to the new town that we just took. 100% they're going over there, because there's nothing, there's just nothing else. There's no other weak link within our faction at the moment. Every single other fief has a pretty good garrison and decent upgrades and all that stuff. And on the other hand, that other thing, yeah, no, the other town is just really not very good. Anyway, Bortu has reached the age of 2. Fantastic. That's really nice. Alright, we're going to have to speak to him in just a second. Can I do that right now? I can do that right now. Okay, so let's do Vigor, let's do Endurance, and there you go. Okay, I still think that this is... I don't know. I don't know what to say about the whole, you know, child development thing. I think the system is very cool, but I think the way that it's done is very... I don't know. A little bit janky here and there. Yeah, I think that's maybe what I'm trying to say. Let's just not even get into it, shall we? Anyway, let's go here. See if I can get through. Oh, wait a minute. They're moving away from the walls? No. They were moving away a little bit. Okay, I see. Okay, now bear in mind, these fellows are basically all militia. I can't believe I missed. Oh, that was great. Yeah, so these guys are all militia, and so as a result, it's going to be pretty easy for us, but it really is going to be a case of, well, are they going to put up a fight? Are they going to actually form decent... Nope. Nope, they're not. I was going to say, are they going to form decent habits by staying inside the walls and doing their very best to defend against us together? No. They're just going to completely... throw caution to the wind and try to murder us by themselves, which, of course, facing your back to your opponent as well, probably not the best idea. Well, whatever the case, I am going to get some decent bow skill from this, I guess. But yeah, my forces should be able to completely eliminate every single person in here without too many difficulties. And, yeah, get him! Get him! There we go. Okay, I would like to have gotten my bow skill to 275, actually. I think I have 273 or something like that. But it seems like I'll have to do that in a future battle or siege. But there you go. We do have some people that retreated to the keep, but that's really not that big a deal, as we know. There we go. Easy enough. I will take the prisoners, even though selling prisoners doesn't actually get me that much. And we'll claim it? I mean, I don't know. Should I claim it? Yeah, you know what? I'll claim it, and then I'll give it to one of my other vassals, one of my companion vassals or something like that. Maybe I'm actually not sure who to give it to be honest. But maybe someone recent. So maybe Attis? Maybe Attis would be good, potentially. I'm not entirely sure, but I guess something like that. Anyway, let's just upgrade all of this stuff, because I just want the orchards to get upgraded as fast as possible. And let me give this to Attis, I believe. Yeah, I think that might be an idea. So let's go to my kingdom screen. Actually, no, my fief screen. And what did we just take? Acolyte. Oh, it's actually got good... Ooh, wait a minute. It's got very good prosperity. Do I want to be a greedy so-and-so? Probably not, right? Nah. I don't really care about money that much. Okay, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually give this to Hawassa, because she only has a... Well, she has one fief. doesn't she? Yeah, she has 1 fief. So this is actually kind of amazing for her, I think. Boom. There we go. Okay, so she's going to take care of this now, and we are now going to be speaking to Tazler, and we're going to see what he says. Okay, he's willing to listen to us, but you can see here that it's more than likely not going to be effective, unfortunately. 100% chance on this one. Maybe if we get a critical success on the next one. Nope, not in a million years. Okay, hello there. Yeah, unfortunate. 22% chance. If we'd gotten the 22% chance on one of them, then I might have been able to get him to join us. But yeah, all things considered, it was a very unlikely thing to happen anyway. I was not expecting to actually even get any opportunity to speak to him anyway, because we don't have any relation with him. I mean, his relation, that's the whole point. His relation is going to determine those percentages, because he has 0% chance. Well, I mean, he's got 0 relation with us, and so it doesn't give us any benefit whatsoever from those initial starting options. If we had decent relation with him, and I'm not even talking about 50 plus here, I'm talking about just 10, 15, 20 or so, that would probably be enough to get us a high enough percentage chance to get some decent stuff going on there. But yeah, well, whatever the case, another 800,000 for us right there. And we are going to be waiting here for some time, and then I think that's actually going to be it for this episode. So we're at war against 2 factions, but thankfully, because we have some additional vassals, we are now capable of fielding larger armies, and as a result, we might even be able to take Hakun Castle, Akisa Castle, and then eliminate these 2 factions in one fell swoop. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.